In this video, you will learn what questions to ask if a pet needs medications during their visits, which situations it is important to ask if you should give the medication at the first visit, and why I ask clients to label the cabinet or drawer where medications are stored rather than moving the medications to the counter or some other more obvious location. When a pet has medications, you'll need to go down another line of questions and gather details such as ask if the pets are good about taking their medications, ask how the medication is usually administered, ask what time or times during the day does the pet get the medication. Also, go and look at where the medication is usually stored. Get as much information as you can about when to give the medication and how to give it. You need to fully understand this part of the visit before you leave. So, ask questions until you feel comfortable with giving the medication on your own at the visit. For more complex medications like insulin shots or medications I have not given before, I try to schedule a meet and greet during the time that the client will be administering the medication so I can see exactly how it's done. Be sure to ask if you should give the medication at the first visit, especially if the client is planning on leaving close to the time their visits start and there happens to be a medication due around that same time. For example, a client might need to feed their pets and give the medication early in the morning before they leave for their vacation. Other times, the client might think, well, the pet sitter will take care of the first meal and medication. Simply asking whether or not you should give the medication at the first visit will help you and your client get on the same page. If you are at a first visit and you're not sure what to do with the medications, the meal, or really anything else, it is always better to get clarification rather than making an assumption and inadvertently doubling up on a medication. I like to mention to the client they can label the cabinet or drawer where their medications are stored with a note if they choose. Post-it notes work great for this. When I see a labeled cabinet or drawer, first of all, it helps me remember to give the medication, and it keeps me from embarking on a mighty scavenger hunt, rifling through the client's cabinets or drawers, trying to remember where some medication is stored. Some clients will suggest they move the medications to a more obvious location during the visits. Beware of this. I prefer to keep all items stored where they're normally kept. In my early years, I once had a client move their cat's hairball medicine to their kitchen counter. It's hard to tell exactly what happened, but the client thought the cats may have conspired to knock the bottle of hairball treatment onto the floor, where their Labrador Retriever ate the entire bottle, cap and all. Eating the hairball treatment was not that big of a deal because it was mostly soybean oil. However, the container and the hard plastic cap posed an issue because it could have caused a blockage, which is, of course, a serious medical concern that required immediate attention. So I called the client and recommended we set up a vet appointment. Luckily, we caught it quickly, and the vet was able to induce vomiting rather than needing to perform emergency surgery. But after this incident, I started asking clients to leave all supplies and medications where they're normally stored and just label the cabinet or drawer. I like to reduce the number of new variables at any visit, and this has been a key procedure that helps us keep pets safe.